So in the last footage that you guys saw, we had discovered my oopsie of having these boards rotated the wrong way. This longer side should have been flush against per the instructions in the kit. I'm not going to do that. I'm not taking these off and rotating them. To fix it, what I'm going to do is put a notch into each one of these that is halfway across and down the thickness of the other board. Which means I'm going to have to unscrew this end, unscrew it from the bottom when I'm ready to, and slide it over. What I'm going to do to start off with is remove the screw down here that's holding it together. Can't remember if there's one above or not. I think there is. I can't see, of course, because I'm too short. I'll grab my bucket, flip it over, and stand on the bottom. We'll look up there. There's definitely a screw right here. We'll pull that out. I guess once we pull that out, if this comes loose, we know there's not one up there, but I'm pretty sure there is. So we'll take those two screws out. We'll notch this end. Then we will move this before we notch that end. And then I'll go around and do the same on the other side. Then we're going to start putting the walls on, build the rafters, put the roof sheathing on, and then see how far we get with the rest of it today. Alright, I'm going to get to it. You guys are going to be on one of those good old time lapses of me just working. right, friends, we are as done as we're gonna make it to being done for this weekend, apparently, with all the rain we're getting. I'm pooped. There's the sunset. Not only am I very tired, which is what pooped means if for those outside of the US that aren't familiar with that phraseology, just means very tired. Well, yeah. Doors aren't in, so that's tarped over. The roof is not finished, so one of the new tarps is over that. Obviously it's not ideal for this part of the roof to get rained on, but there's nothing really I can do at this time. I don't have the time to get out the other big gray tarp and do all of that monkey business as well. Besides, everything's already put away, all the tools and everything, except I forgot to take the giant roller magnet there and put it in the shed. There's all the supplies are now in the shed. The trailer is empty. There's nothing left over here, so the old farmall can have a rest or get put away for her winter rest soon. I mean, yeah, I am very tired. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm babbling even. Whoops, almost dropping the camera. Hold on, almost dropped the camera. I know I'm babbling worse than usual, but yeah, I gotta make sure the shed's locked up. I just locked up the truck, so the only thing left is the GoPro in my hand and the charging cord for said GoPro. We have filled up 2 128 gig memory cards with the video of this project so far. That's a lot. Let's see, did I lock it up? I did not. See, it's a good thing I came over here. All right. And come on, key. Sorry for fumbling you guys around. This lock is impossible to do one-handed. Come on, lock all the way. Come on. What's going on? It won't, there we go. It wouldn't give me my key back. So, yeah. Holy cow. This project was not supposed to take this long. But between weather and my old broken body, it's taking much longer than it should. Lady Metal's up now too, getting ready for work. Well, not getting ready yet, but waking up, you know, getting her mental fortitude ready to go and everything. Make just a double check. Yep, that's everything. So I guess we will call it here. This will should be the second video on the shed build. For now, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and as always, I will see you on the next one.